Scorpio, how you doing? So you can also watch this as Life Path 4 or an Aries as well, Scorpio. But your channeled messages for a start, I'm really struggling trying to get through. And I think it's because what I heard was it's getting bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger, but it's also getting harder and harder and harder. Now, unless you're called Henderson or Hard, but like Hardy, what was his name? Laurel and Hardy? Oh, okay, so some of you it might be able to do with your weight, maybe. But like, yeah, because I'm hearing Laurel and Hardy. Well, Laurel and Hardy, there was someone that was really skinny compared to someone that was also overweight. So you might be really struggling like yourself around weight issues and stuff, and like you're having to wait until after Christmas before you can really start like your diet or something like that, or something that you're waiting on. You really could be dealing with like a Life Path 7, which would be a 7 of Pentacles. Okay. But something is getting bigger and harder though. So I don't know what that is. It's either your ego, your mouth, or your dick. I don't know which one. But like I'm hearing like it's getting bigger, it's getting stronger. So like my business is getting bigger, or my ego is getting bigger, but it's also getting very harder and harder and harder in order to be able to physically and emotionally, like it's like this waiting game, and it's getting like it's becoming harder in order to be able to explain. Let me explain. Sometimes when I channel for people, if I can't, okay, and I feel really confused and discombobulated like I do now, that means that somebody basically of a channel message is really confused because I can't make any sense of it. So it's the sense that makes none. It could be anybody beginning with N or a none, okay? But like I just can't seem to find the words in order to explain what it is that I'm feeling, because it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger, but it's becoming harder and harder in order to keep doing it, right? So it might be like persevering of like a diet, for instance, right? And it seems to be like really pissing me off and everything else, and all I really want to do is start or explain, but I can't seem to find the. They're saying that it's something to do around talking, and I can't seem to find the words to explain what is going on. Okay, so I don't know if someone's lied, Lucifer, Laura, Lucy, Elijah, and like I can't seem to find the words anymore. Like the words are just not there. Like I want to speak, I want to say something, but the words are just not there. Like it's just like, or you're not there. Like you're there in spirit, but you're not there in. Okay, so is this where someone's really struggling in order to open up around a metaphysical connection or with your past? And you're trying to connect with your past and you just can't seem to find the words. Because if I'm honest, it feels like a cryptic clue of what came out through another reading. I can't remember which one. It was probably one I did yesterday. But like all I can do is feel it, wait, can't explain it, can't talk, can't open up, can't talk, won't talk, want to talk, but can't. So like all of these queries and all of these questions are feeling stuck, which means that you could be dealing with a 3 or a Pisces, okay? And it's like this feeling of I want to, but I can't, but I am, but I'm not. So Libra, 2 could be in your energy somewhere. Don't worry, if you haven't seen this channel before, we channel from the Akashic Records and then we look into your tarot. And I've also had a hell of a morning this morning, Scorpio. I've literally just spilt a whole load of like, don't worry about it. But I knocked the table and it knocked all of this drink all over the floor. So I've just like, it went all over me and everything. I don't know, man. It's like I can't explain it. A feeling that I can't explain. So it has to be a metaphysical one. Like, it's this feeling of waiting, feeling stuck around a Pisces, possibly in a third party, can't explain it, want to explain it but can't find the words to say, but I want to. Now, if this isn't you, it's someone else. Okay, but I can't find the words to say anything anymore. Like I'm getting, like say that you're tongue-tied, right? And you've said everything. Like you've literally spilt your guts and said everything, right? And the other person's not replying. And you're kind of like, well, I can't really say any more because I can't make you do that. Or you've spent, like say you've been living with someone for so long. Like you've been living with someone and you're married and like you know them inside out, and basically like it's difficult to find conversation because you've spoke about everything. Like we've spoke about everything and there's not much more to say. And it's either that or you're not speaking at all. Okay, so I'm finding it difficult in order to be able to channel anything like I do everybody else, to be honest, Scorpio. So this is normally where I back away and then just look into the tarot, because I think that whatever it is getting bigger and bigger. That's a message. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger, but it's also getting harder and harder and harder and harder. Okay, so whatever that is that represents for you, I have got absolutely no idea. Okay, it could be Elijah, but it seems to be getting longer and longer, bigger and bigger. Like the time gap seems to be getting like, it's kind of like I haven't spoke to someone in so long, and the time seems to be getting like longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. And I mean, there's someone fucking fishing here, bruv, and they're saying, look at the size of that fish. How big was it? And it's like, well, it's about that big, right? But like, this is Tom Hanks, or Tom, the name Tom, but. Tom, Dick or Harry. So something's getting bit. I don't know where we're going with these messages at the minute, Scorpio, because they're telling me all sorts of shit here. So something's getting bigger. Whatever that is, I don't know. Y'all work it out, right? But it could be like a time gap. Like the time has been so long since I've actually said anything that the longer it goes on, the harder it is to say anything, because it's been so long that now I've got no idea what to say. Because if I do say something, I have to explain why it is the fact that I haven't been speaking. So it's kind of like this pressure that someone feels around a Scorpio. It could be another 4 or a Scorpio. Okay, Laura, Lucy, Lucifer. Could be a Capricorn. Anybody beginning with Elzebub, Capricorn, something like that. Okay, but like it's been so long, like, and it's going like it's kind of like you haven't spoke to anybody for ages, and the longer it goes on, the harder it is in order to be able to open up and say something, right? So it's like an extended amount of period of. Or like your period's going on for longer than you wanted it to, and you're kind of like, fuck, like, you know, surely I should have, like, either 1, come on by now, or 2, my period should be over. I don't know. Or like it feels like that you're at school and you're just sick to death of waiting for the clock to go off. Okay, or you're clock watching all of the time, and it's like this, I don't know, I keep feeling like anticipation, like I'm so like stuck, like physically, mentally, emotionally, don't know what to say. The time gap's getting longer. The longer it goes on, the harder it is to be able to open up. And like I'm sort of like sitting here wondering, thinking, don't know, really want to but can't. And I really can't like explain it at the moment. So yeah. So I can't really tell you what if that relates to you, and you're sitting here and you're thinking, you know what? That's exactly how I feel. That's a message for you. That's me channeling it. I can't help you out of that. It's just ego. It's something that is stopping you from progressing forward because there's something in the way, which means another person or my ego or something that I can't possibly do. But normally it's ego. You know, when you're doing anything spiritual or in life, it's all ego, right? That's the only thing that ever really stops you from expressing one's feelings and emotions. It's something in the head. Okay. So it might be paranoia, could be anything else like that, but like I just don't know what to say. Like I'm speechless, I don't know what to say. Physically don't. And I don't know how to explain it either. Okay, so it's a feeling. So I can't express my feeling. Well, that's a 4. That's a Scorpio. You know, learning to be a Scorpio from one to another is it's depending on whereabouts it is in your chart or name chart. Okay, but like the longer it goes on and the harder it gets to be able to explain where I've been or how I feel, the longer I do it, the harder it gets. Okay, so stuck. So it must be around like 3 or a Pisces. Okay. Okay, so that's your the best I can do to explain what it is of a. Sometimes they're not channel messages. Sometimes they are feelings. Okay. So let's see. So Scorpio. So what we're doing, Scorpio. So basically, we're going off a timeline of when I do the readings. I'm just going to post them straight out. Okay. So Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio this week, please? What's going on with Scorpio this week, please? Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node, life path number, or 2 life paths that add up together to a 4. Okay. So you have 6. So you've got Gemini, Capricorn energy. Also, so working, hospital. Also, I'm going to the hospital or I'm counselling also. I need some sort of counsel. Spiritual counsel also. Okay, or you are like you have a house or a flat and it's something like where you're paying your rent, mortgage of a council house, council flat. Here, what do you explain for people in America? Okay, so when you don't have a house and stuff like that, and you don't pay a mortgage, you don't have a house, you basically get one from the government and it's cheaper than what it is if you was to go to someone that owns a house and you was to physically rent the house. You would get it on the council. Okay, so basically the government build loads of houses, blah blah blah, they rent it out for people, but you have to be really lucky in order to be able to get one, especially nowadays. Okay, so I'm also hearing council. But yeah, someone that works at hospital, some of you might be See, this is sharing. Like, I need to share something with you, and I care about you. Okay, so it's here. Like, I care about you a lot. Okay, anybody beginning with L also. Okay, but I care about you a lot. Okay, and like, so it is. It's like I do care, though. I do care. Man, I'm getting really emotional, and I don't know why. Like, I feel like crying, but I can't. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like this feeling. Like, I feel really emotional. Someone could be having an awakening here, but like, I feel really emotional. Like, but I do care. Like, but I keep hearing someone say that in their own head. Like, but I do care. Okay, so it might be where I do care work. Okay, so it might be people that work at hospitals and like elderly. They work for the elderly and elderly patients and blah, blah, blah. And I do care work. Okay, but I am also hearing, but I do care. Do you? Yes, I do care. I do care about you, and I do care for you also. So it could be another 4, Scorpio, Aries. Let's see, Scorpio, because it's a mess in my head. In my head, it's a jumbled up load of words, really. Let's see, Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio this week? So the 4, you see, there you go. So it could be another 4, for instance, but this is a 6. But what is going on? I don't know. It feels like I'm working all the time and I'm feeling tired, like I'm feeling exhausted. But for any of you out there that worry about, like, you know, I'm spending all of this energy and they're taking all of my energy. People don't take your energy. The universe takes your energy, because when you're a feminine energy, you spend it. Okay, you spend your energy, and it doesn't zap into someone else and they don't take it. It's because there's an awakening, right? This is why it's awake. Okay, so I'm waking up, basically. So there's an energy of possible being... Oh, that's a new one to me. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So the 4 of Swords now in my book says waking up. So some of you are in this process of physically waking up, or you finding it very difficult in order to be able to get motivated in the morning. For a lot of you, like, it's on my mind in the morning and the day. It's a bit like work, really. If it's a love interest, it's on my mind day and night. Okay. But I'm also hearing, like, I'm on my process of actually physically waking up. Well, everybody's always waking up. Like, you know, you don't finish waking up. You know, you're always waking up. That's what I'm saying. So some people say, you know, I'm going through my awakening process. Great, but don't think that stops. You're always going through an awakening process. Like, as soon as you start, it's pretty much like as soon as you're born, you're dying, you know. As soon as you start to breathe, you're dying, you know. So some of you are finding it hard to breathe or something like that, or like I'm finding it very difficult to breathe. Let's see, but like I'm waking up. So it's ego driven, basically. It's exhausting. Because I'm also probably spending too much time at work, or thinking about work. Okay, or thinking about the person at work. Like, I'm thinking about them when I'm working, I'm thinking about them when I'm at home in bed, you know, and I'm like constantly like exhausted at the moment. Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio this week? So yeah, again, you've got the page, so it could be a single mother, someone that's independent. You could be single yourself here, and you're just an independent woman that works for themselves here. Okay. Or a man even. But some of you, this is your physical mother, you know, because if you're like the children and you have mothers, then, you know, you're in this card here, you're in this reading. Man, I can't seem to, I don't know what this feeling is. It's very strange. Normally I'm switched on, blah blah blah, and it all flows. There is something around this energy that keeps stopping me from doing something. And I don't know what that feeling is. So how does this explain this in this card? Well, the Page of Pentacles doesn't speak. It thinks. It thinks of new ventures in life, of what to do. Okay. But it also wants to give someone this opportunity. Like, it, you know, it's like, are you going to accept it if I was to say something? Like, would you accept an apology? Would you accept the fact that I can speak? You know, but I'm also hearing septicemia also. Cecilia. Oh, that's an old one. What's that? Cecilia. Scorpio. Man, what is it around this energy? So nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. It's strong. Whichever way it is, it's strong. Like that's what I'm saying. It's strong, but it feels wrong. There's more cryptic clues in this fucking thing than I can think. It's strong, but it feels wrong. Like it feels wrong that I'm doing something, but it's strong. Like it's a really strong connection. Because I'm sure your channeled stuff was, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger, but it's also getting harder and harder and harder to be able to say anything. That was your channel stuff. It seems to be in the cards, now I can see it. It's kind of like it's getting bigger and bigger and stronger, but it's also getting harder and harder and harder to be able to keep putting this up, like to keep putting you up, like to keep putting up with this. I mean, there isn't a mood swing here, but I keep hearing like it's getting harder and harder to keep pretending that things are okay, or like it's getting stronger and stronger of a connection, but it's getting... I can't work out what that means. Is there a paradox number here? Like, when I get confused, okay, if there's, like, other people around you, like if there's third energies, if there's, like, a paradox number of meaning, say there's 2 or 3 people in the energy and they all have the same number, okay, so like 8, Aquarius, Leo energies, Capricorn, Gemini, Scorpio 4s, there can be a lot of energy around a reading, and as a medium I would pick that up as a straight reading of card, but a very difficult reading to read of energy, okay, because you have to know how I read. But like I also keep hearing Damien or D, anybody beginning with D, Damien, Reedy also, okay, B, Brian, Lion, Brian is a lion. Okay, but like this lie, like I keep lying to myself or lying to the other person, and it's getting harder to keep it up. Like it might be where someone's told that many lies even to themselves, like they're lying to themselves, or someone believes that someone is lying. Like I just... So anyway, let's go back to the actual message of a paradox number. Meaning like the other person has that and it's getting harder and harder and it's getting stronger and stronger, but it's getting also harder and harder to be able to speak. Like the time that it goes on, it's very difficult for me to find the words to say. Like they're on my mind and I know what to say, but it's very difficult for me to find the words to keep it going, like to keep it up. Like I could be getting slightly bored and it's difficult for me to find the words of what to say. Okay. Because this could be like an elderly couple, right, for instance, like an elderly couple that are your parents and stuff like that, right? And you go and visit the parents and it's difficult to find, like, you know, you get forced into a situation to go and you think, man, this is really difficult to stay around this person to speak that long. Like, I can't speak long. Okay, because these are kids or friends that just say, I'm just popping in really quickly and I'm only just going to be an hour or half an hour and then I've got to pop off and I've got to go. Right, so it could be someone that really struggles in opening up to people, like of parents and stuff, and like I don't really sit around you very long. I just kind of like pop in now and again, say all right, and then I'm off. Like I don't really like associating around too many people because it makes me feel really awkward. Okay, so that overall message is kind of like I'm not staying long and I don't say too much, but I've got loads of things on my chest that I need to get off because it's getting stronger, but I'm finding it very difficult to keep the conversation going. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Harry? So let's have a look at the other person that's connected to Scorpio then, please. The other person that's connected to Scorpio. This normally starts telling us, see, there is nothing wrong. The Ace of Cups is a given opportunity. It's there if you want it. So if you're in a relationship, everything is kind of like a working relationship. It's like a functional relationship, but a dysfunctional feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? So you could have this 6 that comes up around a metaphysical and a physical, because that's normally where, because that would be probably Patron or here. But I would say dysfunctional family, 2 of Cups, functional relationship, 6 of Cups upright. Okay, so like a functional, dysfunctional feeling, man. Let's see. Function room, feng shui. Some of you might be moving things around your room to have better feng shui, like to let more light in or something like that. You see, since I got diagnosed with my depression, they seem to be working, but I still have my curtains closed all day long, really. But It's very difficult when you work at home on your own here, 24/7. Anyway, let's see. Show me the other person, please. So they're flying out. So you got the Queen of Swords on this side, and then you got the Seven of Cups, which is a metaphysical connection. So you got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, a possible mother, and then you've got like hypnosis, like I am stuck at the hip, like, or someone has big hips, I don't know, but like I'm stuck at the hip, like I'm stuck on you like glue, fantasizing. Seven of Cups is a fantasized energy, but it can also be questioning one's reality, like I'm always questioning my own reality, or I am that lost in this connection that I am always questioning myself. Okay, why am I so guarded? Why am I so protective? Why can I not say exactly what is on my chest? Why can I not let anybody in? But why do I have this? This person here is really struggling with knowing like their own mindset at the moment. Like they're upset. I keep feeling like someone is emotionally upset because they're forced to feel this. They're forced to feel this metaphysical connection. It could be Luke Skywalker, I don't know, Luke, or Luke in the Book, someone from up north. But like, I am forced to feel this, okay? But it's also making me feel weary and also like wary as well, like slightly paranoid, slightly trying to like, or the name Lee, Lucifer, Laura, anybody beginning with L, or Lee, also Leanne, Stevens, Leanne Stevens, Stephen, Stephen, Eve, also Evie, you're all up in here again, Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Scorpio. So this side, this person is struggling of connecting with anything really truly at the moment, because the Queen is so guarded and so protected that she can't understand what feelings are. Okay, so like I can't seem to engage, or I can't get married, or I can't get engaged. Like I don't want to get engaged. I don't want to be tied down in a full-time physical relationship. Like I'm finding it very difficult to engage in anything at the moment. Show me the other person connected to Scorpio, please. See, there you go. Page of Cups in reverse. So this person doesn't know, because I'm hearing what I call Elvis Presley. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me. But like, you're always on my mind, but I'm finding it difficult to find the words in what to say. So I'm not speaking. So I decide to keep all of this to myself, locked away like a secret, and not speak. Because these would be children that don't speak to their parents, or I don't speak to friends, and I don't really speak to anyone, or I can't speak to anyone. Like, I'm in a metaphysical connection here, really trying to like think about what the hell my feelings mean, but I can't express that to anybody. Like, I can't tell anyone. How can I tell anybody? It could be a secret, it could be a lie, but like I can't tell anyone about what it is that I'm feeling and thinking, because I don't understand what they are myself either. So there's an energy of feeling really confused here. Now, there isn't any signs of a third party energy, but like I said, this could be a mother here. It could be a mother, right? And I'm finding it very difficult to be able to stay around too long in order to speak to this Queen, okay? So it could be the in-laws, the outlaws, Laura, Lucifer, Lucy, but like I'm finding it very difficult to speak to the mother-in-law, or you know, that kind of stuff. Like I'm not invited around the family, and I find it very difficult to communicate with my partner's mother or father and stuff like that if you're in partnership here. Because like I said, when I do soul group readings, which is all of the time, okay, tarot cards are not always about love life, even though you may connect to it. It depends on what kind of message that you're looking at. But a lot of the time where messages can get very misconstrued is the fact that you have more than one person in your life. So your mothers, your fathers, your siblings all come up through readings, okay? So you've kind of got this all consumed of trying to learn to physically remain patient, but also still contemplate on what I want, because I can't emotionally open up to you, okay? So whether that's because of trust or distrust, or whether that's because this side is physically has a metaphysical connection, okay? I have a metaphysical connection on this side, and I can't possibly find the words in order to express how strong this seems to be getting. Okay, and it's getting stronger and stronger. See, this reading here is basically representing what I was saying to everybody during your very confusing channeled message. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger, but it's also getting longer and longer and longer. The fact that I have to keep this up, not being able to speak or say anything. So the energy is getting stronger, okay, and the connection is getting bigger, but it's also getting more confusing and more confusing by forcing myself not to be able to feel what I am forced to feel. Okay, so it's a force to be reckoned with, which is a metaphysical connection that is really plaguing my mind, and it's all through my chakras and auras everywhere, and all I can seem to do is think about not opening up. Okay, so this side is struggling with an awakening. 7 is also an awakening. Trust me, if you're a life path 7, you'll know what I mean. Right, but like 7 is also spiritually waking up. 4 is also spiritually waking up. Okay, trying to find answers about my feelings and my emotions, of what connections are through the world, through the, everything. Okay, so a universal connection of something that is spiritual for you, but trying to find out the answer. Now, the Queen of Swords can also represent of one reading that seems to be coming up around where you've got to go to court, because you're trying to get access to your children that you don't see on this side, and someone has the children and someone possibly doesn't, because there's a child here upright and there's a child here in the downright, which means that you're downright arrogant. You won't let me see the children. How come that you have the child but you won't let me speak to them? So they're people that are divorced, separated, gone through the mustard with people, and you have a connection with the child, but you can't connect with the child because the husband or wife will not let you see them. Okay, here. Because that would represent having to go through channels in order to be able to speak. So I'm hearing that there's only one way that I ever get to speak to you, and that's through one channel. Now, I don't think that's physically like nanu. I think that's I have to go through the correct channels in order to be able to speak. Like, I can't do that directly all of the time. I have to go through social services or something like that, or on the phone. Like, I have to go through different channels in order to be able to communicate. It's not just straight as a die. Okay, so I have to go through the right channels in order for me to be able to contact you here. Okay, so that's what I've got for you. That was a very difficult reading for some reason, so we're going to find out what all this confusion is, because it will tell me more as I start to clarify of 2 separate lives, or 1 life, or 3 lives. Who knows? But I will also look into thoughts and feelings as well for you guys, which will also be on the other side. It will be Patron. You can find the link provided below, but it will only be the full access bundle, and we're just going to churn out loads of readings between now and Christmas. Whenever I do them, I'm just going to post them out. Okay, if the reading relates to you, it does. If it doesn't, then it's probably because you're not joined Patreon to find out the rest of the story and the outcome and everything else. But it's the full access bundle only. You can follow all links to my Angel Radio and also the vlog and stuff like that. That is all over the place, linked everywhere on the channel. You can find emails provided below for personal readings and so on and so forth. If you are a Patreon member, make sure you follow the app. Okay, if you're not a Patreon member, you can follow the link to see all about it and then join if you want to. But it'll be the full access bundle only. And then once you've joined, make sure you follow the app. Okay, guys, thanks very much, and I'll see you soon.